Ahoy there, me hearties. This be Captain Silverhook, and you're listening to the Two Old Pirates podcast. Set sail for an open sea of stories, tales, and some really crazy stuff. I expect you to like and subscribe, lest you be walking the plank. Ha ha ha!
Hey, and welcome to podcast 113 of the Two Old Pirates. I'm Eric.
I'm Vinny.
But anyways, so in this episode, we want to talk about if you're from Rockport and you remember Cinema 35 in the old days.
We mentioned it in the previous
yes,
video.
In the previous video,
Baby's
we talked
Day
about
Out.
Baby's Day Out and
Oliver
him and Waylon.
Company. Yeah, Waylon.
All right. And
Rest in
after
peace,
that,
man.
they wanted to broaden, and they went to Cinema 4. So the thing is, we had the same people own the same company, and they were the only movie theater in the area, and we don't have one anymore, sadly. But the thing is, I was old enough to remember Cinema 35 back in the 70s and 80s, and Vinny came along around in the 80s, and then he actually worked at Cinema 4. So we have all these different kind of stories. We want to talk about some memorable things that we have remembered over time, or we've heard from other people about these two movie theaters since they're gone. And if you're from Rockport, you remember these and love these things. So I'm going to start off. I'll tell a story and we'll ping pong off each other. He'll come in with another one and stuff. So if you're from Rockport and you ever sat in Cinema 4, or you're from old Rockport and you sat in Cinema 35, I hope that you enjoy these stories. These are 100% true stories that we were there to witness, and we hope that you enjoy them. So I'm going to start off with the Hibachi Man.
The Hibachi Man.
The Hibachi Man.
Like Jan Kokoba.
If you remember it in the original Cinema 35, the seating went all the way down like at an angle going forward. And in the front row, a friend of mine, my parents dropped us off to go see a movie. We were probably 9 or 10. It was a safe place. You went in and stuff. And so we couldn't find any seats. And so we go all the way to the front, and there's 2 seats. And it's the seat that's on the aisle. There was a man sitting there, and he looked kind of homeless or creepy or something like that. And then there was 2 seats next to him, and then the rest of the seats were taken. So this was a packed house. I cannot tell you what movie it was. I do not remember. But I remember there was 2 seats, and so me and my friend sat down. And so we're sitting there watching the trailers come out for new movies and stuff, the previews and stuff. Movie starts and stuff, and I think I smell something, like smoke or something, but I'm not sure. And I nudged my friend. I'm like, you smell that? And he's all, shut up, I'm watching the movie and stuff. So I'm all like, okay. So I'm just still sitting there. And remember, this guy is sitting next to me, like how Vinny is here. I'm not really paying attention. And he leans forward, and looks like he's turning something, like down on the floor. And I look, and as I look, I did not notice because I was watching the movie. He had a hibachi grill. One of those small little bitty ones that became famous in the 70s and 80s and stuff, a little bitty hibachi grill. And he had somehow got it to start going. Like he literally had the coals or whatever in it going. And he had 2 shish kebabs that he was turning. He was cooking a meal in a movie theater while we're watching the screen. You know, we're pressed up against the screen in the front row looking up like this. So you're not really looking down here. But I could smell something. And when I look down, I see his scraggly hair. And he's turning the stuff, and then he turns and looks at me, and I got scared because I lean back. He's like, "What? You never seen a man cook his dinner before?" I'm like,
Not in a movie theater.
No, sir. And then he reached in and he pulled out an old Milwaukee beer can, and you see the foam and stuff. And he takes a big drink off of that and sets it down next to his feet, and he just keeps turning the food. And then when he got done, he tasted, and there's like bell pepper and a tomato and steak. I mean, this is like something you'd see at your house or in your garage if they're cooking or something like that. And there had to have been smoke coming up, and it would have gone into the light of the screen. Nobody complained. Nobody said anything. This is like 1979, 1980. And he cooked that and ate both shish kebabs, took some more drinks off the beer, and then poured it on the stuff.
To put it out.
And it did. And I'm sitting there like, I don't remember what the movie was. To this day, I don't know what it was. I was so fascinated.
You had a better show down there.
Yeah, this man who looked homeless, granted, he looked rough, was cooking a meal in a movie theater in Rockport, Texas. And everybody else was just, and I don't know how they missed the smoke. Nobody in the managers, nobody came down there and stuff. And I was just like, I watched the man prepare 2 really good looking shish kebabs. They look good.
Honestly, I gotta
and
say,
enjoy an old Milwaukee, the horse piss beer of the world. He had the time of his life. So if you've ever gone to the Alamo Draft House where they prepare food and bring it out to you, they ain't got nothing on this man. Cooked his dinner.
It's got to say, absolute power move. Bringing in the hibachi grill, cooking his own damn shit.
So that is a true story of Cinema 35.
On Highway 35.
1979, 1980, somewhere around there and stuff. And I don't remember the movie, but there was a man who cooked dinner right next to the movie.
And I'm getting everything ready. And that involves making the pretzels, putting them in the warmer, filling up the nacho cheese pump, starting the popcorn, all that stuff. One of the things we did is we put the hot dogs on the little roller machine that they have at the gas stations, they cook on the rollers. And we pulled them out of like the freezer. Like the night before, they pull out 1 pack of hot dogs from the freezer and put it in the fridge overnight. So when you get there the next morning, they're still cold, but they're not frozen anymore. You slice open the package, put half the things on the rollers, put the bag back in the fridge, and you let it cook. So that's the thing, is that when you put it on the roller, it takes a little while to cook because it's warm, but it's a slow. It's got to.
And it's also heating from the inside out.
Yes, exactly. If the outside in, even, because you're on the roller and it's just
whatever.
Yeah. So this guy shows up, right? He's catching a movie. I don't know what the hell the movie is. It's like 11:30 in the morning. We just opened. This guy comes up and he says he wants a hot dog, and I'm like, look, man, I just put him on the thing. They're not ready yet. I was like, we just opened. It's the first showing of the day. Who the hell's buying a hot dog at 11:35 in the morning at a movie theater? I said, come back. The movie's half over. They'll be done. They'll be ready. He was like, no, I want one now. And I said, look, man, I just told you they ain't ready. So I just pulled them out of the fridge. They're cold.
But I want my hot dog right now.
And next to the thing is we had a microwave. That was sitting next to the popcorn thing, and he was like, just take it out and put it in the microwave. And I'm thinking, like, dude,
it's not going to be the same.
It doesn't matter. I don't care. But I'm thinking, like, how long do you microwave a hot dog for? Like, I've never.
Usually he says, like, what? Poultry, popcorn, coffee. Doesn't say.
There's no hot dog button.
Singular hot dog at Cinema 4.
The closest you're going to get is pizza slice. So I'm like, I don't freaking know. So I was like, 75 seconds. I beep, beep, put it on there, in the bun, stick it in the thing, and the guy puts the shit on it, and he screws off back in the movie theater. I'm like, whatever. He comes out like 15 minutes later. It's been a while, because now I'm working on the popcorn machine and everything else. He's like, this hot dog's still cold in the middle. So I'm like, what do you want me to do? He's like, I want a refund on this. It's like, I can put it back in the microwave. And she turns back to me and says, Vinny, how long did you microwave for? I was like, like a minute and a half, 75 seconds. I don't know. And she kind of shrugged, and she turned back to the guy and said, he warned you. Did not give this guy his money back.
So what I wanted to do on this next part about Cinema 35 and Cinema 4 is there was a special thing unique after Cinema 35 shut down and Cinema 4 opened, and it was called Tuesday Night.
Yeah.
And Tuesday night, if you ever want to see cheap people, it was what?
Bring your own bowl.
Or what?
Because
you got what?
You got free popcorn.
Free popcorn.
They would fill it up. I would fill it up.
So people would bring bowls.
Yeah.
They'd bring bowls, and you'd sit there and put it up there,
like
and then
they have
regular bowls,
a regular bowl, and then every once in a while you get a guy that has,
but they weren't crazy,
no,
right?
But someone would always bring in like a Tupperware, like a salad.
But that was okay because they weren't going to make a whole bunch of trips anyways because they were trying to be gluttonous a little bit, but they weren't going to be able to eat all that.
They bring the Tupperware. So, they're like, haha, look at this, guys.
Yeah, so it was a joke, but then, just like the guy with hibachi,
started getting out of hand.
You had some people that were like, let's push this a little bit, right? Let's push the envelope. So I was telling Vinny about one time I went to, and he's going to tell you his own story. Yeah. One time I went to
Cinema 4.
Yeah, I'm tired. One time I went to Cinema 4, and there was a man who was pulling in a garbage bucket,
like the rubber,
yes, and he had bought it across the street at the old Walmart, where
Ace Hardware is
there, right? So what happens is, if you remember the old Walmart, he went in there specifically and bought a brand new Rubbermaid trash bucket like 30 or 40 gallons. It was a big one.
The ones that you had to put out in front of your house.
Yeah, it was
like before the city.
I remember
started
it was brown.
Cans.
I remember it was brown. So I have my bowl, and I'm about to go ahead and have it filled with my amount of popcorn for a normal human being. And Schmuck over here walks up dragging this because it had little wheels on the bottom.
Yeah, it's like the rubber.
And he's all like, "I'm here for my free popcorn. I have my bowl." And the teenagers behind the counter, they don't know what to do because it's their job. Customer's always right, but how do you fill 30 gallons of popcorn when other people are coming in with like little bitty petite bowls, or like how you said, bigger Tupperware bowls or something like that? But they're bowls. It's not a trash dump thing. And
I probably just thought he took that from one of the theaters because that looks like the one they put the trash in.
So I was like, I'm going to sit here and watch this. So I get my popcorn. And do you remember at the end what they had? They had the seasoning.
Yeah, the seasoning.
So I'm putting a little bit of ranch on, a little cheddar cheese,
spice it up, man. I got a story about those.
I'm eating those, and I'm like looking down at this guy, and he's serious. Like, and he tells him, "I need this filled because this is my bucket. This is my bowl." And they're like, so they start popping, and they're popping, and they're taking whatever they have. There's other people in line, but since he's in line, he gets his first. I see one of them pick up a phone. And at the time, the people that owned Cinema 4 also owned North Shore 8, which was the new movie theater that was in Portland.
Yeah.
And they had
30
more.
Minutes away.
Yes.
Yeah, they have two poppers there.
They had more poppers there than Cinema 4. So he called ahead, and every now and then, if they had a rush in Rockport, the manager over in Portland had told them, make extra here. We're going to bag it up in these big, huge, see-through plastic bags, and we'll have one of the people drive it from Portland to Rockport, so everybody will have popcorn on Tuesday night. That's how many people came out to get free popcorn. So they're like, okay, we'll send some over from Portland, and they hung up on them. So they just hang up, and then I'm like, by this time, I'm like, my movie's going to start, so I'm going to go see it and stuff. So I go into the theater, and I'm sitting there eating it, and as the previews come on, I'm all like, I got to check. So I go back out there, and they've allowed other people to go around him to start getting some popcorn, but he's still sitting there with like a quarter of it full at the bottom. I mean, that's a lot of damn popcorn. And then one of the times that I peeked out, because I peeked several times, I was more interested in this than the movie.
It's a better whatever.
I peeked out. I saw them coming in, and the guy had 3 bags of popcorn, like industrial size.
Yeah, they're like big trash bags.
Just bringing them in, and they put them behind the counter, and they just started scooping and they filled his thing up to the rim. That was a waste of time, money, effort, food. It was a joke that it wasn't funny by the time it got over.
I'm sure everybody behind him in line was just shooting daggers at him.
And he had it filled, and I saw which theater he went into. And back then, you didn't have numbers attached. You just sat wherever. Yeah. And so when I got done with my movie, since his movie started after mine, I walked out with my bowl, and I saw where he'd gone. So I opened it up, and I looked in there, and he sat on an aisle seat with the thing in the aisle. You had to walk around that if you're coming down the aisle, so he could just eat out of that. And when he got done, there was like maybe an inch out of it. And they had to dump all of that out. They had to dump it all out.
Anyways, I bring up the thing about Hurricane Harvey because I used to work at Cinema 4. Obviously, it's a place that both 35 and 4 that we have a lot of memories of. So when they were tearing down Cinema 4, I noticed there was something very special out in the dumpster. And I pulled up, and
if you check this out, guys, right here,
it's the
that is the actual number 4.
That's the 4
from the Cinema 4. So anybody from Rockport that remembers going to Cinema 4, that is the 4.
That is it.
So part of Rockport is still alive. Old Rockport is still alive. From Vinny.
Yeah.
Anyways, for Two Old Pirates, this is Eric.
I'm Vinny.
And we hope that you enjoyed this really cool take on Cinema 35 and Cinema 4, the 2 movies in Rockport history outside of the drive-in, which we can't really cover that because that's been gone since Hurricane Allen.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy this, please comment, share, like, and we'll get back to you soon.
Yeah.
Peace. And I want to let you in on something really, really cool. Vinny has all these different things, all these different boats in the water, lines in the water, whatever you want to say and stuff, and he does all these different things. And one of the cool things that he did was he went ahead and got in touch with a printer, and they made up. This is really, really cool what he did, because I've always thought about doing this for us, but I just never have. And he had these really, really cool little bitty stickers made up, It's the Two Old Pirates, and it's got the Spotify and it's got the YouTube like little emblems on there, so you can just slap this on something and promote the Two Old Pirates.
Look it up on Spotify or YouTube.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome and stuff. And then he's all like, no, I got some more. And then he's all like, I got some of these big bad mothers. Right? If you
only got a few of those.
This is really cool. This is like an authentic bumper sticker, the Two Old Pirates podcast with our logo.
Weatherproof, UV resistant.
It's got Facebook because that's how we reach most of you. It's got the YouTube and the Spotify emblems again, and it's got our original stuff that Vinny made way back in like 2020 or something like that. So he made the original one. We still use the original one and stuff. So this is really cool to be able to put on a car or something like that, or just to have. And maybe we might raffle something off someday or something for some of you really really dedicated folks. And then the last one I really really like. This is close to my heart because he took a really good snapshot of us and Eric and Vinny. Two Old Pirates podcast.
And that's actually two separate pictures of us from two different videos that I've composited together.
See, he knows what he's doing.
I was looking for us in good poses. So you're like smiling, telling a story, and I'm doing this number right there.
So he had to go ahead and mash all this together. But he just showed me this as I came up to his place here in Rockport and stuff. So I might find something interesting because I'm going to keep some of these, but also some of these we could go ahead and give out to some of you. If you're a dedicated listener and you're a dedicated follower, we want you guys to enjoy some things too. So we're a small organization. We're trying to get bigger and stuff.